I am really excited to present this program on how to conduct and publish research, and I'm really excited to tell you all about this program. That it's a year-long program, but as I will explain later, that people could choose the individual blocks. I do like to point out right now that the application deadline is May 15th. That's kind of a soft deadline. So if you get it in May 16th, May 17th, not to worry. And we hope to begin the program on July 10th. And I'll tell you more about that in just a few minutes. Why are we putting on this program? What's the mission of putting on a year-long program on how to conduct and publish research? Our mission is to develop and nurture a community of diverse individuals committed to alleviating suffering in the world, to advance health of your communities and your countries. Essentially, we consider research as a social institution to advance the health of communities and countries. And when you think about that, research as a social institution, we're talking about advancing health equity in your community and also advancing social justice. So what I'm trying to say is that research is such an important development for countries to advance themselves and improve the health of their participants, their citizens, in order to enjoy life and participate in the global world. So we consider research an important entity. This slide shows our specific aims of our program here. We have 3 different blocks. We take research essentially from A to Z, beginning with how to develop a research proposal, and that entails what are the gaps in knowledge in your community? What kind of question would you like to ask that addresses a gap in knowledge? And once you develop the research question, then you could start developing your hypothesis and your scientific objectives, and then choose an appropriate methodology to address the objectives. After you have now your research question, your hypothesis, your scientific objectives, then now how do you conduct the research, which includes recruitment methods, informed consent, data collection and entry, and what are the appropriate statistical tests to use to analyze your data. And this program is for both quantitative and qualitative research. If you're interested in doing interview survey studies, this program is for you. If you're interested in lab research, this program is for you as well. Now it's time to write the paper and also publish your findings. And we give you help with writing the paper and publishing the research. Let me also say the writing process occurs throughout the program. You need good writing skills to develop your research question, write the proposal, starting with the introduction, methodology, and then also writing up the results and discussion aspects of your paper. And then when you go to publish your paper, you need good writing skills as well in order to how do you respond to the reviewers' comments. The writing, we feel the writing aspect of this program occurs throughout all 3 blocks of the program. Now, having said that, we recommend that people participate in all 3 blocks, but let's say you have your research question already and you have your proposal, then you may want to join us in block 2, and we could help you conduct the research and help you with analyzing your research data. Or let's say you've completed your research project and now you want to concentrate on writing the paper and publishing, so you could join us in block 3. So we have a lot of flexibility depending on where you fit in this model here. Having said all that, we feel a major outcome of this program is a publication, even if it occurs after the 1 year. We want people to publish their research, and we'll continue to advise you through the publication process. We're not interested in having our names on your papers. We're interested in having you all have a publication at the end of this program. The major competencies of this program is scientific writing and critical thinking. These are skills that you will need throughout the whole year in order to develop the research question, the proposal, the methodology, analyzing the data, writing up the paper, and publishing. We have a strong emphasis on scientific writing and critical thinking, and we will emphasize that throughout the whole program. Now, important dates, I mentioned before, the deadline for application is May 15th. Again, it's somewhat of a soft deadline, and we hope to start our first workshop July 10th to the 13th. Because of COVID, it will be a live virtual workshop over 4 days. And hopefully by the time of our second workshop in December, we hope to hold that in Cairo, and then our third workshop in June in Dubai. Now, having said that, you all know it's difficult to predict the pandemic. So if things are still not right by December, we'll hold a workshop as a virtual workshop as well. But hopefully this slide shows our very happy faculty. Isabel May in the top right corner there. She is our writing specialist. On the bottom is Maha Iman, and she'll help us with issues in research ethics and also research ethics committee. In the middle here is Rahab Abdulhai. She's a research methodologist in conjunction with Tama, who's on top here, Tama Hifnori. He'll help us also with research methodology. And below him is Sama Ab-El-Aziz, and she's our statistical expert, and she'll help us with analyzing the research data. And on the bottom left is Zainab Mohammed, and she'll help us also with methodology issues and research ethics issues. And also we're having conversations with other people as well to join the faculty. So we have an all-star faculty here to help us throughout the program. So here is the structure of the program. I like to emphasize that this is a blended learning experience comprising of face-to-face or virtual live sessions interspersed with webinars and asynchronous learning. So this slide shows the 3 workshops, and in between each workshop, we hope to have regular webinars, live webinars, to address the specific issues between the workshops, and also asynchronous learning on a Moodle platform, which will comprise of discussion forums, written assignments, interactive videos. And we suspect or expect one will need to devote about 3 to 5 hours a week to this program to really get to the goal of conducting the research and publishing your papers. So again, I like to emphasize this is a blended learning program consisting of face-to-face workshops, virtual workshops, and hopefully face-to-face workshops, webinars, live webinars once or twice a month, and then asynchronous learning on our Moodle platform. We like to build a collaborative community among the learners, and by having discussion forums, group projects, and also interactive videos as well. Regarding the application submission, we would like to have your CV, a personal statement regarding your goals and how this program could advance your career. Also, I like to emphasize, if you want to join the program in the middle, let's say with the conducting of the research, tell us what your research project is and how far advanced are you with the research development, so we know how to develop this program to meet your particular needs. We also like to see some evidence of English proficiency, for example, with the IELTS or the TOEFL. Now, having said that, if there's another way you could provide us evidence of English proficiency, that would be a good substitute. We will accept that as well. For example, if you have a degree from an English-speaking university, or if you want to provide us with a writing sample that you wrote to convince us of your English proficiency, or we could have a Zoom meeting and talk more about that. Requirements of the program is that we require attendance at all 3 workshops. If you're taking all 3 blocks of the program, we expect you to participate in the forums and the assignments. And regarding our live webinars throughout the year, we require at least 75% attendance at the live webinars. We know that sometimes it might be difficult to attend a live webinar. We all are busy working professionals, and that's fine. Tuition fees. For the entire program, it's $7,500 US dollars or $2,500 for each block. We do offer tuition reduction for people from low and middle income countries. In the application form, there is a space for you to request a tuition reduction, and we ask you to submit a statement detailing your specific needs for financial assistance, and also if you're coming from a low and middle income countries. Also, I like to mention that this program is being have accreditation. I am a international accredited provider, and we could offer about 30 continuing education units for each block if that is something that is important for you all. So I think I've covered the major aspects of this program, and I'm happy to entertain any questions that you might have. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Okay, Henry. Hi. I'm Tamer Hafnawi, Professor of Public Health and Community Medicine. I'm now working in Taiba University in Medina Munawara, but within 2 months I will be back to Egypt, to my home university, Bani Suif University. I'm a certified trainer for international research ethics from University of Maryland. It will be my pleasure to join this program as one of the faculty members. I have just a simple question regarding the continuous medical education hours for each block, which 30 hours for each block. Can these hours be used later on in any master program in the United States?
No, they're not credit hours. These are not recognized graduate courses. So the CEUs cannot be used for master programs in other degree programs. Isabel, wave to the audience.
Hi, I'll introduce myself briefly. Hi, everyone. I'm Isabel May. I am an associate professor at the University of Maryland, Baltimore in the Science Communication program. I also direct the Writing Center at the University of Maryland, Baltimore, where we work, and many of the consultants I train and supervise, we work with writers all the way from undergraduate and graduate level students. We mostly have graduate level and professional level students at our institutions, but we also work with faculty, with postdoctoral researchers, with research faculty, with research associates, you name, and staff, of course, as well, on a variety of writing projects. And my focus in both my teaching and my research is scientific and science writing. My background is in the humanities/social sciences. I earned my PhD at the University of Maryland, College Park in American Studies, although I'm originally from Germany, in case you're wondering about my accent, that's where that's from. I've lived in the United States for, more than 2 decades, I can say now. That's been a long time. And I came originally to the US as a Fulbright scholar many, 2 decades ago, practically, 1999. It seems only yesterday. And so I've lived the experience of being a multilingual writer in English for a long time. And that's another area of my research and teaching as well that I'm really interested in, working with folks for whom English is maybe not the primary, or it's one of the primary languages, right? Many of us speak English. I mean, I speak English more than German, but it's still not necessarily my native language. And in my teaching, I focus on science writing principles, publishing in journals, but also more broad science communication, some grant writing. That's been my area of expertise. So I'm looking forward to being part of this program and working with you, hopefully, over the course of the next year.
Okay, good, great. Thank you, Isabel.
Can I add something, Henry? I forgot to say. You mentioned the structure of the program. And in my experience, having worked with so many writers who work on research publications or doctoral dissertations, so really high-end, high-stakes communication, right, with very sophisticated audiences. In my experience, it's really helpful to have a writing program embedded in a larger structure of doing research and analyzing your data. Because often we take a writing course that is not connected to the research that we're doing. And so it's really that application of the writing instruction to a project you're working on that I think makes a big difference in the quality of the end product and also in your growth as writers, particularly writing in this sort of academic English that most of us have to adhere to in the publications we want and need to get published in.
Right, good point, good point. So we consider this program to be very pragmatic in that respect because you are using the tools that we are giving you throughout the whole program, the tools of writing and critical thinking, which you'll need to develop the research proposal and also conduct the research and analyze the research and write the discussion section of your proposal. So I think I'll add that word in the presentation next week. This is a very pragmatic program. We are giving you the tools and we're going to help you use the tools.
I have another question, if possible.
Sure, yes, right.
I'm not sure if I didn't notice it or get it from your presentation. What about the period between the 3 blocks? Will be any activities that the participants have to do between these blocks? The first block will be on July, then the second one will be in December, and the third one will be in June 22. So in between, what shall they do?
Well, actually, I had a slide here. In between the workshops, we're going to have webinars once or twice a month and asynchronous learning on our Moodle platform where we'll have discussion forums, writing exercises, assignments, interactive videos.
This will be on a weekly basis. This will be on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or something like that. How much time do the trainee would allocate to this program throughout the year?
Well,
each week, for example, number of hours or studying hours or hours allocated to this program weekly, for example.
Right. Yeah. So I had said that the learner should expect to devote 3 to 5 hours a week to the training, participating in the webinars, attending the webinars, and also participating in the discussion forums, the written assignments, the interactive videos. So it's continuous throughout the whole year. Now, having said that, we realize that you're all working professionals. On one hand, we expect people to log in somewhat frequently, but we recognize that during certain parts of the year, you all have other responsibilities. So if we don't hear from you for a week or two, not gonna get bent out of shape about that. We may drop you an email just to make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah, that was a great question, Tamer, and I think that's probably on the mind of a lot of folks if you're interested in this. And from as I said earlier, from the writing perspective, I want to encourage you all, if you're interested in this program or you know someone else who's interested, to really think about this strategically. So we know we're starting in the summer. So think about a research project that for that whole year, right? Because the program really spends the whole 12 months. Think of a research project that you could start maybe around the summer, and then you can use that as your, to apply all the information to it. Doesn't mean that you can't use other projects you already are working on, or that you will be starting maybe to work on later on this year after the first part of the program has started. But it would be helpful to think of one research project, and I'm sure you have plenty that you could use as your focus for this program, and then really take that step-by-step approach that this program offers to you to start with developing the research question, to the analysis of your collecting the data, analyzing it, and all throughout this we'll do some work on writing, but then the writing heavier part towards the end next summer, really looking at your results, at your data, what is there, and where do you want to publish, and what do we have to do, what do you have to work on to tailor your publication to the journals you're interested in. And we'll talk about the publishing process and how to select journals as well, if that's something you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not quite sure. Those are all aspects we'll cover throughout the year, but particularly towards the end as you're getting ready for that polished product. So you can work on several publications throughout this program, but having one to really focus on, that might be really helpful. So think about how much time you would spend on doing a research project anyway, and that could be the time also that you will be spending for this course, because that would be your anchor in terms of the content for this course, if that makes any sense.
Let me also emphasize that if you don't have a focus on what research you want to work on, we will help you develop a research project. We will walk you through the steps of deciding or investigating what are the knowledge gaps in your community, and we could start with 4 to 6 possibilities, and we could drill down to a research project that is novel, interesting, feasible, affordable. So even if you have no idea what project you want to work on, we will help you with that in the beginning. We will help you develop the research question. All right, so feel free to communicate with me by email. And I know there might be many more questions to ask about your personal situation, and we'll address it. Again, my goal is to have people in the program, and whatever we could do to help you get in the program, we'll do it. Let me sign off. Thanks again for attending. It's been wonderful having you all here. So good luck with the rest of the week. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.